Shri Ganeshaya Namah. Maha Shivaratri Katha. This Katha is a very powerful prayer. It is said that by reading or listening to this story, one's sins are destroyed and the soul is turned towards God and self-realization. Lord Brahma originally told this story to his benevolent son Naradji, and it is recorded in the Shiv Mahapuran. Lord Shiva is the form of the eternal, infinite and everlasting energy of the universe. This energy manifests in the form of Brahma, Vishnu and Rudra, another name for Shiva, in order to create, maintain and destroy the world. The cycle of creation, sustaining and destruction has happened many times before. It is happening now and will continue to happen into eternity. It is said that during every cycle of creation, Lord Vishnu and Lord Brahma are reborn on Mahashivratri, manifesting from Lord Shiva's divine energy. The Katha of Mahashivratri starts when Lord Shiva and Mata Parvati visited the sacred Amarnath caves. As Mata Parvati looked lovingly towards her husband, Lord Shiva, his garland of skulls caught her eye and aroused her curiosity. "Dearest beloved," she began, "God of gods, Mahadev, through my prayers and meditation, I have come to know all about you and your captivating form. The enchanting crescent moon in your hair comes from the time when the oceans of the world were churned to retrieve Amrit, the god's nectar of immortality. With the Amrit, precious jewels and gems were uncovered, but also a bitter, acrid poison, so deadly it could have annihilated the world. Caring naught for yourself, you drank this poison to save the universe, collecting it in your neck, even though it burned and raged through your body. To this day it has stained your neck blue, earning you the name of Nilkant, the one with the blue neck. To negate the poison's ill effect, you plucked the crescent moon from the churning waters and placed it upon your brow, where its magical healing properties soothe and cool your mind. Through great austerities and prayers, sage Bhagirath attained the river Ganges from heaven to flow on earth and cleanse people of their sins. But when Devi Ganga left heaven for earth, she came down in such a torrent that she threatened to destroy the world. Again you came to the rescue, catching her in your matted locks and holding her securely. Happily she resides there even to this day and springs forth as gentle streams trickling to earth. In your hands you hold a mighty trident to fight and destroy any and all evil. To subdue the poisons of the world, you adorn yourself with venomous snakes about your neck and arms. The Damaru drum you love shows you are Nataraj, the king of song and dance. Through your divine dance, you bring the world to an end, ready to be born anew. Your body is covered in ash, collected from funeral pyres to remind us of the mortality of flesh. From dust we are born, and to dust we return. Like ash, you are immortal and omnipotent, so your devotees need have no fear of death, as you are always there to guide and protect them. The enchanting image of you standing serenely in your dance pose is depicted and honoured by your followers, more so as they see you quash the demon of ignorance, assuring them that you are always ahead of your devotees to ease their path to salvation. Wearing animal skin upon your body shows you are the lord of every living beast. Every animal is under your care, and even they can come to you and attain moksha. Knowing all this about you, I am still at a loss to understand why you wear a garland of skulls." While Parvati was speaking, two doves settled on a nearby tree and started to listen to this conversation. Intrigued by Mata's question, they waited to hear Lord Shiva's reply. Lord Shiva smiled to himself and said, "Dearest Parvati, the secret of nature and the universe lies in the answer to this question, and I do not wish for it to be disclosed." Parvati was not satisfied with this reply. It only increased her resolve to know the answer. "Until now," she urged, "you have withheld no secrets from me. Why withhold the answer now?" Again Lord Shiva smiled to himself, realizing Parvati would not abate. He replied, "Great sages and saints meditate for thousands of years to learn the answer to this question. Would you have me give you the answer just like that? How does that seem, just or fair?" But Mata Parvati continued to persist until Lord Shiva sighed, "If you really wish to know the answer, then I will tell you. But you must promise to be brave, remain detached, and not regret or ponder on your previous human existence. The skulls I wear around my neck I have collected from all your previous incarnations. Every time the universe has begun a new cycle of creation, you have materialized from my divine energy as a girl, a woman who spends her life devoted in prayer and meditation upon me. In return, I have accepted and honored you as my consort, my beloved wife. In this current life cycle of the universe, you were born as Princess Sati, the daughter of Prajapati Daksh. Your constant, unfailing devotion to me drew us together, and in time we were married. But Daksh did not approve of our union and resented you for marrying me. To demean us even further, he decided to hold a Mahayagya, a great prayer ceremony inviting Vishnu, Brahma, gods, sages and saints to attend, everyone except us. Despite my objections, you attended the yagya, where you were so disappointed and hurt by your father's insults towards me that you sacrificed yourself in a sacred fire and died. I was enraged, devastated at your loss. My pain and anguish was such that I was ready to destroy the world. Prajapati Daksh was punished for his actions, but it brought no solace, as you were lost. Tormented with grief, I collected your remains and wandered aimlessly throughout the universe in despair. I wandered lost for eons, oblivious to the world, carrying you, until nothing remained in my arms, and then I resolved to enter a state of deep meditation. The last skull on this precious link belongs to Sati. Devi Parvati, everyone who is born from a mother and father are destined to meet the god of death and die. But you were always born in the form of my beloved, and I could not bear to be parted from you. Every time your incarnation passed away, I collected your skull and kept it close to my heart, waiting for the time we would be together again, as nothing is more precious to me than you. To date, you have lived 108 lives. Dearest love, understand that I am an immortal life force. I am omnipotent and omnipresent. I have never been born and I will never die. On the request of Vishnu and Brahma, I take the form of Mahadev and reside upon Mount Kailash. Time after time, the world has followed the cycle of birth and death. I manifest Vishnu and Brahma to sustain and maintain this cycle, as we three are everlasting. Brahma creates the universe, Vishnu sustains the universe, and at the end of time, I, as Nataraja, destroy the universe. Though nothing remains after my divine dance, my energy, my life force is still present. It is eternal and everlasting. It is infinite, divine, and from this energy the cycle begins again. This, dear Parvati, is the secret of nature and the universe. Mata Parvati was so overwhelmed by Shivji's reply that she wanted to learn more. She asked Lord Shiva to explain how he created the current time cycle. What thoughts influence this current world? Shivji explained, Dear Parvati, you and I are one and the same. You have been created from one half of the universal divine energy, and I from the other. Together we are Ardhanarishwar. In the beginning, this bright divine energy created a splendorous being, gifted with humility, kindness, honor, and wisdom. His skin was the color of blue evening sky, and he possessed 4 arms. On manifesting, he folded his hands in respect and asked, "Who am I, and what is my name?" The divine energy replied, "Your name is Vishnu, Lord of all people. Everyone will know you as God, though you will be known by many names. To realize your true self, you must meditate and focus your mind to attain self-realization. Only then will we appear before you." So saying, the divine energy disappeared. Vishnu started to meditate. He concentrated so hard that he began to perspire. The perspiration grew into an ocean that submerged him, and within these waters Vishnu fell into a deep sleep. While he slept, a lotus plant grew from his navel and flowered. Here I placed another divine being, Lord Brahma. He, dressed in red robes and possessing 4 arms, was also in a state of meditation. At some point, Lord Vishnu and Brahma became aware of each other, and overwhelmed by my energy, they began to argue as to who was their creator, who was their father. Vishnu suggested that he was Brahma's father, as Brahma had appeared on the lotus flower from his navel, but they still could not agree. Unable to reach an answer, they travelled throughout the oceans of the universe to find their father. When all their efforts failed, they started to argue again. To quell this argument, I appeared before them as a spirit. Brahma and Vishnu were wonderstruck, confounded by my radiance, and requested that I appear before them in a form they could perceive. At this request, Om was created. Before them it divided into several parts and transformed into the 4 Vedas, the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Artha Veda, and the Brahma Vidya. These scriptures are the basis of all creation. The world abides by the law and dictum of the 4 Vedas and 18 Puran. This knowledge is pure, everlasting, and indestructible. Parvati, this is my body and soul. Brahma uses this knowledge to create and begin the time cycle. Vishnu uses this knowledge to nurture and maintain the time cycle. And at the appropriate time, I bring the time cycle to an end. When Brahma and Vishnu witnessed all this, they were overcome and humbly requested us to appear in a form they could recognize and honor. In response, we materialized as Shakti and Shiv and said, "Use this knowledge to take responsibility for the nurture and well-being of the universe. Do not succumb to worldly illusion and pride, but remain humble, honorable, and virtuous. In time to come, I will appear as Rudra on Mount Kailash, and you, my power and energy, would be born as Sati, daughter of King Prajapati Daksh. After the demise of Sati, you were born many years later as Parvati, the daughter of King Himalaya and Queen Mena. As Parvati, you underwent severe penance, performing deep meditation and arduous prayers that lasted thousands of years before we were finally united in marriage. Now we are together, we will never be parted again." This, my love, completes the story of how this time cycle was created. Along with Parvati, the 2 doves heard this story and were blessed, becoming immortal, and went on to live in Shivpuri, the abode of Lord Shiva. Whomsoever listens to this katha with love and devotion will have the protection and guidance of Lord Shiva. Their troubles will come to an end, and they will become free of the material bonds. Om Namah Shivaya.